So the Seattle SuperSonics, as you look at Jack Sikma trying to become the second team in the last 20 years to win the NBA title after losing in the final round the previous year. Since '60, only the 1973 New York Knicks were able to rebound from a final round loss against Los Angeles to win the championship over the Lakers the following year. Daryl Garrettson will toss it up, and we will be underway. Jack Sikma and the Big E, Elvin Hayes at the center jump. We are going to see a lot of switching of man-to-man assignments in this series as it unfolds. Unseld off his foot, dives for the ball. Dennis Johnson goes after him, saves it to the top of the baseline. Out of bounds. Ball to the champions. The familiar form of Gus Unseld, the smallest starting center in the league, but a man who extracts a tremendous toll during not only a game, but particularly a series. He's been in the league 11 years. Each of those years, the Bullets have been in the playoffs. Henderson moves it to Unseld. The middle of the open man is DJ lobs to Jack Sikma. Unseld is watching Jack, and Hayes will chase Ronnie Shelton. Dennis Johnson misses his first shot. Hayes rebound. Two strong rebounding teams.
Elvin Hayes has carried his club thus far, and he's starting off very well, hitting his first shot in a long jumper from that left corner.
Gus Williams calls the play, and they run it through their leading assist man, John Johnson. Williams will come back around now from the perimeter. He's short, out of bounds. Oh, tracked down by Gus. He saved it. I thought it was headed over there toward the bench. DJ ricochets off and misfires again, but it's Gus Williams. First basket for the Sonics.
Just can't give that many shots to somebody right on the offensive end of the floor.
He got jammed back in under the boards, and that was a big play, Brent. The Bullets just were out of position, and little Gus got the inside track for the shot.
Here is Hayes now. He likes to turn towards the baseline. Shelton stuck with him one-on-one, and then Lonnie breaks down the other side. Sonics. Wow. Loose and Henderson retrieved. Was over there to pick, and John Johnson switched. Hayes gets away from Sikma. Dishes Unseld.
That could have been a charge there. The Big E's momentum carried him right into the defensive man, but he got away with it as he passed the ball off. Here's the play again. Hayes will come right down the alley. Watch Lonnie Shelton step in his path. Elvin went right over and made a good feed to Unseld for the layup. No charge.
The first whistle of the game.
Should have been.
He's watching Sikma with that left forearm, left hip. DJ spins and short. It's 0 of 14 in game 7. He is now 0 of 4. Sikma. And there was a whistle.
Bucky shoved off against Unseld, but they're going to give the foul to Big Wes. He doesn't like that call. I thought Sikma shoved him myself when he got the tip. We'll take a look at it again. Shot outside by DJ. Watch Sikma pushing Unseld, and as he tipped it up, right there's where they called the foul.
Sikma turns on Wes and hits the field goal. So 2 fouls on Unseld. It is 6-4. Bullets over the Sonics. Henderson brings the shot clock down. Dandridge moves to Kevin Greavy. Double team. Hayes swings free and tosses up a right-hander. Unseld battling for that offensive rebound. And the foul underneath.
He's 6 seconds. Every moment that Elvin had the ball,
he wanted to go to the free throw line. He said, I was shooting. They gave it loose ball, and Kevin Greavy hits the field goal to make it 8-4. Look at Sikma and Unseld. Jack, with that quickness, got inside and dished it off to Shelton. Jack will put the ball on the floor when you tighten up, and that's what he eventually did against Phoenix.
A little too quick for Unseld outside. Good move.
Hayes loses the ball out of bounds on the turnover. It'll go to the Sonics. Henderson. Sonics quickly drop back, and Henderson weaves to the basket. It's a 4-point Bullet lead.
Stop a play like that, you got to Stop him out at the top of the lane. Don't let him have the momentum. They opened it up on Henderson. Wisely went right in for the layup.
The pressure is on the Bullet guards. When you compare these two teams, everyone feels the Sonics are better in the backcourt. Bucks will keep it with 21 seconds on the shot clock. Game 1 of the NBA World Championship Series. Game 2 here in Landover Thursday night. Williams. It's a 2-point lead by the Bullets at 7:58. Dandridge bulls inside of Johnson, picked up by Sikma and hit the field goal.
Just leaned right into him on that play, Brent. Good move by Bobby. He went right to the basket, and Sikma moved over to help out, showed him the ball, and put it right off the glass and got the basket.
There will be no feeling out process in this series. These two teams know each other very, very well. John Johnson with the field goal for the Sonics. The only change is that Lonnie Shelton has come from the Knicks to the Sonics. Marvin Webster is here in attendance, but as a spectator. Dandridge stays right with it, and it's blocked by Shelton out of bounds. Lonnie Shelton has the Sonics. They could tie it this trip down the floor. Gus Williams maneuvering, and it's Shelton again.
That was because the penetration move we talked so much about. With Gus getting inside, he went over to help out. He did the right thing defensively. That left Shelton a clear path to go to the hoop.
West takes the pass from Hayes, rolls the hook on Sikma. Again, it was Shelton getting a hand on that ball. Cross-court bad pass. Unseld volleyballs Dandridge. 3-on-2. Bobby D.
I got the hoop on that play, Brent, but that was a tough shot. When he got a 3-on-2, he should have dished that ball off to a wingman, but he hit a nice running one-hander from about 14 feet out.
But how about he is so good on that shot in the key area. He can hold up with that familiar form. Dennis pulls up and hits the jump shot. Reeve. And the Bullets up by 2.
Boy, he has really come on strong lately after having a little slump early in the series, and he's come back, and he's really got his confidence.
Quick pass from Johnson off of DJ's hands and out of bounds for Lenny Wilkins' team.
Bullet guards have hit 4 out of 4 shots here in the first period.
Henderson sends it to Dandridge. Bobby D on the turnaround is short. Gets it back again. Those offensive rebounds. Gus goes back down to Henderson. It's 3-on-1. Bullets with the advantage and Greavy to the layup. Greavy is 3 of 3. The Bullets have run off a string, and they open up a 6-point lead in the first period, taking advantage of the Sonic turnovers. Back to Shelton from John Johnson, and Lonnie Shelton throws one up and missed on the open side.
That's 2 layups now that Seattle's missed, Brent. Could be that they might be just a bit tight.
Dennis has got Gus ahead of the field, and Bobby Dandridge awaits him. Williams, with that quickness, just turned the corner.
Well, he veered off to the right side, Brent. Took it right to the basket. That's a fine move by the small guard.
Four minutes and 18 seconds, first period. Hayes jumped it back to Henderson, who goes into Unseld, and Jack Sikma forced that turnover. Here comes DJ. Down the middle, he committed himself, and Elvin Hayes fouled him. Oh, Dennis was lucky on that, Rick. I'm reminded Thursday night when he brought in the substitutes and almost lost Game 7. Well, it turned out that with a minute to go, assistant coach Les Habegger looked over at Lenny, and Lenny said, "We've got 37,000 at the Kingdome. Let's give our starters a standing ovation." Well, they got the ovation all right, and when Westfall was at the free throw line, Lenny looked over and said, "Les, you're fired."
Right after the game, he says, "Okay, you could come back. We won."
Only coach fired and rehired within a span of about 5 minutes. It was not funny at the time. It is now. Hayes moves it over to the right. They drop it off to Dandridge, and there's a foul inside. John Johnson working against Bobby Dandridge a little too tightly that time.
It's going to be a great matchup. These two players are really tough defensively. You watch JJ 6'7", Dandridge is 6'6", trying to get him down low on the right side on the baseline. And as the pass comes in, JJ clipped him.
Hayes and Shelton is going to be a good duel, and Greavy stays with it short. Got it back, and Henderson retrieves to the Bullets.
Right now, the Bullets are doing what Seattle did to Phoenix, just dominating the offensive boards.
Spinner by Dandridge. Short, and Bobby D went after it, and Shelton muscled it down and off to Williams. Now it's 3-on-1 Sonics. There's John Johnson. Gus Williams took Henderson right out of it.
That was a great play by Gus, because he waited until Henderson was totally committed on the play before he passed it off.
It's a one-point game as the Sonics now hit 5 quick wins. Gus a switch, so they go inside to Greavy, and DJ with a rejection. Blocked 7 in one game a year ago. Williams slowing up, trying to get the foul off of Bobby D, and when he wouldn't commit, that shot has put the Sonics up by a point.
Well, he anticipated all the way. Dennis Johnson on that play. He knew Greavy was going to go up, and Greavy did not know his defensive position.
Shelton with a rejection again, and Gus saved it. Off to Dennis, who collides, and it's offensive foul. Dandridge had position. Boy, Shelton's been awesome here early.
He made a great defensive play. There's Gus with a fine pass. Dandridge gets the position, crashed into by Dennis Johnson, so the offensive foul picked up, and with 2:40 to go, it's 21-20 Sonics.
Elvin Hayes has been held to 2 points here early. Gus Williams is 4 of 8, and there is going to be a critical stat. Look how even the rebounding is. These are 2 of the muscle teams. Off to Kevin Greavy. He's got his eye.
Brent, that statistic's a little misleading. The offensive boards that Seattle has gotten, a lot of them have been long rebounds off of the missed shots outside, whereas the Bullets seem to be getting more of them in close to the basket, and that's where they can be so crucial, because you get the easy shot back in.
Dennis Johnson and Greavy are going at each other pretty good inside. Sikma misses the turnaround. Shelton has a hand on the ball all the time.
Here's Elvin Hayes. Watch Shelton trying to force him out, and Big E putting a hand right in his back. Contact, rough and ready right here early in the game.
I'll tell you, here early, Lenny Wilkins has gone one-on-one against the Big E with Shelton. Dandridge, and you can see Dennis coming over to help out on the double team. Forces the steal. Gus Williams on the lead. This should be easy for the Wizard. Oh, and he took Greavy right up with him, trying to get the foul. Kevin met him at the summit.
I thought he's going to take it right in like a normal layup. In the last second, he stopped, jumped straight up, and dunked it.
Here it is. Hayes turns on Shelton with a height advantage. Went to the glass.
As I rolled a moment ago, here's Gus going way up, only 6'2", and went up with both hands and dunked it as Greavy went by.
Well, it's up by a point at the 1:20 mark in the first period. Henderson doesn't let Williams come down the lane, makes him take the perimeter shot. Shelton offensive rebound, and Dandridge blocked the hook. Unseld quickly to Bobby D. Sikma positions DJ, comes to the other side. Dandridge hits the jumper.
Shelton gets a good offensive board, takes it up strong to the hole. Bobby D comes up, times it beautifully for the block, and he scores down the other end. He can play on both ends of the floor. Great all-around player.
Elvin sags off Shelton to seal up Sikma. Shelton moved him over and then got the ball into Jack. Dump it off for John Johnson. Works from the baseline at the shot clock. Off from Unseld to Henderson.
I know when Unseld gets a rebound to get back quickly, because he's the master at that outlet pass to start a fast break. This time Seattle gathered defensively and got back to stop the break.
Inside to Henderson. He was underneath the hoop, and the Sonics come back. Williams at the jump shot.
That's been unbelievable. He's phenomenal here in the early going.
He has now run off a string of 4 in a row. He's hit 6 of 11, 12 total points in the first period. Henderson at the buzzer. The end of the first period of the NBA World Championship Series. The great rematch, and the Bullets lead the Sonics by 1, 26-25. We'll be right back. As Freddie Brown has checked in for Lenny Wilkins.
Dave Corzine is also in the lineup now for Unseld for the Bullets.
field goal percentage in the first period. Seattle at 43, the Bullets at 46, and Washington without a free throw. Now Elvin Hayes, Hot Rod, was only 2 of 7.
That's unusual for the big. He looked like he had a little case of fumbleitis early in the ball game. However, rebounding, Dandridge and Unseld had 4 apiece.
And Dennis Johnson 1 of 5. One thing Seattle wanted to do was to get DJ off quickly. They have not done that. Shelton had an out-of-control shot, went up and he almost put it in the hole. Here's DJ from the corner. And he goes right back inside. And Kevin Greavy came up and scored. Goaltending.
Absolutely. We'll look at it again. Greavy appears to have hurt his hand slightly. Beautiful pass by JJ inside. Dennis tried to reverse, and right here, Greavy trapped it off the glass. That's goaltending.
Also looked like he fouled him pretty good, too.
Bullets shooting to regain the lead. There's Dave Corzine from DePaul. Greavy and Dennis Johnson's defense, but he lost control of the ball. Greavy on the penetration was sealed up pretty good that time. When you watch Dennis Johnson, you will be looking at the best defensive guard in the NBA. That's not our opinion, it's the opinion of the coaches. They marvel at the way number 24 plays defense. Greavy down the middle. Good body control by Kevin.
That was all set up, Brent, because they double-teamed Elvin Hayes, and he smartly made a good pass as Greavy cut without the basketball and got the layup.
Here's Shelton, and Elvin went with him. The pump allowed Hayes to get at it. Brown is on Dandridge. The jump to Henderson. Off to Corzine, swatted by Shelton, but to Greavy. The ball's going to the Bullets. 3-point Bullet lead. Greavy shooting 6 of 9 early. Sikma puts up his first shot on Corzine, is short. And JJ battles away inside and drew the foul.
Both teams now really being competitive on the offensive boards. Neither team able to contain the other one. That time it was John Johnson right there, battles in with the big fellas, gets it back, puts it up, goes back again and gets it. Right here will draw the foul against Corzine.
Henderson will go out, 4 points and 5 assists. And Charles Johnson, CJ, he has played on a couple of world championship clubs in the 70s, the Golden State Warriors and the Washington Bullets, and the chairman of the boards is standing right there next to him. Mr. Paul Silas, wearing green.
And Shelton, who went to the bench, but I thought did a great job defensively in there, blocking shots and working on the boards. But Elvin Hayes really had him out of his rhythm offensively. He was rushing everything.
Might have too, Brent. The 5 assists for Henderson would indicate Washington is running. They're getting a lot of fast breaks.
So it'll be Silas bumping Hayes. 2 good adversaries. Chance for the 3-pointer. Silas fouled the
Elvin could jump so much higher than Salas, and he knew he could get the shot away cleanly. We'll look at it again. Salas, more or less flat-footed, does not jump that high, and he easily went over him and banked it in and got fouled on the play. Nice touch off the glass. Washington's
first free throw of the game, and it's good, putting the Bullets up by 5. It looks like Dennis Autry is going to get a couple of minutes. Lenny Wilkins is chatting with him. They go through JJ, and he comes up over Bobby Dandridge. CJ runs the ball down for Mata and slows it up. Freddie Brown drops off. Corzine out high to screen. Picks off Brown, then rolled inside, and Freddie regains control of CJ. Shot clock down now to 5 seconds. Dandridge not there, but Bobby regains control. Boy, he's always in the right place, Hot Rod.
Beautiful effort. Followed his own shot. He knew he had missed the first one, knew where the ball was coming off. He has a great nose for the ball on that offensive end.
JJ. Corzine with the defensive rebound for the champions. Bounce to Kevin Greavy. Silas has got him, and now he'll drop off inside and pick up Hayes. Hayes is in his familiar spot. He wants the ball, too. Foul was away from the ball.
John Johnson picked it up, holding on to Bobby Dandridge.
Oh, we've got a timeout with 8 minutes and 56 seconds to go in the first half. Corzine throws it in to Kevin Greavy. Greavy spins on Johnson, is short. Corzine, and there's a foul.
Dennis Autry got called for pushing that time. Right there, Autry with the little right hand.
Dandridge.
He's been the money man for this ball club. Bobby Dandridge up 37 points against San Antonio. Looking at the Seattle front line, they've hit only 6 of 18 shots. That's J.J. Shelton and Jack Sikma.
J.J. on a running hook. C.J. back down for the Bullets. Autry staying with Corzine, and Johnson comes around the screen.
That'll be Elvin Hayes.
Foul against Hayes.
That time,
Corzine. Rebound to the miss, and here's Wright. Wright's going to be open on the left side. Well, let's build a 7-point lead. Brown coming around Shelton. Well, the ball might have gone out of bounds. Freddie downtown.
He has phenomenal confidence on that shot. From any angle, as long as he's 20, 25 feet out, he'll let it fly.
One-on-one. Hayes to the turnaround on Silas. Simply went to the glass.
He doesn't even have to jump to shoot the ball over Paul. It's a tremendous height advantage he has there. And Paul's defense normally is played before he gets the ball, but once he gets it, he's fairly limited.
Bernie Bickerstaff giving instructions, and on the steal, here comes Wright for the Bullets. That's the biggest lead here of game 1.
There you'll see the steal, ball knocked away by C.J., and then Wright got a hand on it. He'll pick it up, go all the way in. And the Washington Bullets with the 43-34 lead, 6 minutes, 53 seconds remaining.
Not that happy with Daryl Gerritsen. Ballard lobs, knocked free. Shelton was in behind Hayes, and here comes Williams with that quickness. Races for the glass. He was fouled.
He is so explosive, tremendous quickness and speed.
That lob pass that started the whole thing was too long in there as Hayes was in front, and Shelton easily knocked it away and set up the Seattle fast break, and Gus will be at the free throw line. He'll get 2.
6:22 to go in the first half. First 2 games in Washington, and then games 3 and 4 are back in Seattle. Game 3 next Sunday at the Kingdome, and then they'll move to the Coliseum because the Kingdome is unavailable. The free throws, and that could prove costly. They are 2 of 6. Shelton again, there's the double team. During that timeout, Wilkins said we got to put more pressure on Hayes. Sikma coming over. Loose. Wright's got it back for the Bullets and an open shot. Freddie Brown pull up at the top of the circle. Ballard looking out for the rebound, and Larry Wright's open down the wing, but Sikma's back. It won't be easy. Here's C.J. is open.
Right now, Washington establishing a very good early offense running game. This is something that Seattle thought that they would have an advantage in, but right now, Washington's got the advantage.
And Dave Corzine has done an excellent job for the Bullets coming off the bench. Rebounding, position, and keeping the ball alive.
So he's got a timeout. Out of their rhythm a little bit. And maybe that has tossed off the Seattle game here early.
It seems like it's causing some problem for them, Brent. Their shooting is definitely down. The guard position where we thought they would have an advantage. Actually, the Washington guards are playing a little bit better right now.
Sikma, as Corzine slipped down, Jack Sikma was wide open for the shot. And again, the world champions opening up their biggest lead now. And the ball, when it is tap free, is going to a Bullet. Things are falling in place for them here early in game one. CJ coming around Corzine on the pull-up. Freddie Brown stuck right with him. Good defense by Freddie. Sikma with the rebound, and now Brown's on the far side, positioning Lonnie Shelton. Here comes Gus down the middle, and that was Freddie Brown who opened it up. He saw it was clogged, and he wanted to go to Gus.
And I think that's 3 fouls now on Elvin Hayes as we see Fred draw the defenders to him. He gets 2 men. Gus makes a smart backdoor cut. He's open. Here's the Big E going up and gets the foul.
Dandridge checks back in for Dick Motta, and he will play with Greg Ballard as Elvin Hayes leaves for a breather. Now, many of you are wondering, what about the availability of Mitch Kupchak? He's out of the hospital. He has a lower back problem. He will try to practice tomorrow. He may see some action before this series is over. But Greg Ballard is the big man off the bench Motta is counting on in this championship series. Larry Wright now from the right perimeter hits it. 4 minutes and 42 seconds. And Larry Wright has definitely delivered a spark here to the Bullets early, coming off. He's 4 of 4. Corzine muscling. Freddie Brown misses, and Corzine with rebounding position, and the rookie looks good.
Boy, he has played just great ball.
Dandridge was open, and Shelton flies at him, and Gus Williams to the rebound. Now it's the quickness of the Wizard as he comes down the middle. Looks for the open man. Freddie Brown said Sikma's alone. High rebound to CJ. Johnson quickly now to Wright. Here's Big Corzine. Wright comes around the screen, gets to the baseline. He's 5 of 5.
Right, with this lineup that Washington has, and now they can actually run with Seattle. They've got a very fast team out there.
They got those 2 quick little guards, and they also defensively can get back much easier than they can when they have Henderson and Greavy at the guards.
So the champions explode early. Now the Sonics must dig in and respond. Sikma hits one on the turnaround. Jack Sikma, who came alive in the last 2 games against Phoenix. Corzine sends it back now to Wright, and Bobby Dandridge will set up. The shot clock is not directly above the glass backboards here. It is off to the side. Dandridge runs it down. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Inside of 5 now. Ballard will put it up for the champions. High bounce. Taken down by Paul Silas. And here's Shelton. He'll lead to Williams. Gus will put it up over Ballard. Won't stay down, but there is Shelton inside. And a chance for the three-pointer.
Well, right now,
playoffs 11 straight years. That is by far the longest record of any team in the NBA. Philadelphia is second at 4. The Bullets did not make the playoffs for 2 years until one man arrived. That was number 41, Wes Unseld.
As a rookie, he was Rookie of the Year and the most valuable player.
The Sonics are having trouble at that line. They have missed 7 here in the first half. They are 2 of 9 at the free throw line. Dandridge spins. Sikma with good defense, and Dandridge runs it down. Traveling, it'll go over to the Sonics. 51-42, Bullets ahead. Gus controls it, and Larry Wright, who has sparked the Bullets running game, goes right with him. John Johnson, as they go backdoor to Dennis, fouled.
Was to stay outside. He brought his man, Larry Wright, under the basket, and he stayed outside. More than likely, Dennis Johnson would have had a wide open layup.
Those of you who have not watched Seattle that much this year maybe don't realize how often Dennis Johnson will get inside as a guard. He's such a good rebounder, good jumper, and they'll work that backdoor play. You'll see it throughout this championship series. John Johnson, 27, is a fine passer. All of you folks familiar with the Sonics, of course, you know that. Not everyone's seen him that much. And Ballard at the other end for the Bullets.
Perfect pass, absolute perfect timing. CJ took it right to him, brought the defense, then laid it off. As they broke the press, that zone trap, they broke it easily for the layup.
I think we should point out that the Sonics did not get into Washington until late yesterday afternoon. And they have played like a tired team here early. They didn't know where they were going. Dandridge comes up inside of Sikma, and the Bullets are rolling early. John Johnson hits the field goal from the right corner. It's 55-46, 1:50 to go. In championship play, sometimes the worst thing that can happen to a team is to take a lead in the first half and make it look easy. Things change so fast in the second half in a championship series. I want to remind everybody that we're going to have the Pepsi Hot Shot Conference Finals coming up at halftime. You'll see some of those fine youngsters. The boys' national finals.
Be nice to be a boy right now and be able to come into the NBA.
Get a contract like my friend $1 Million Bill.
Right on. He said to say hello to you, by the way.
Next time I see him, he buys dinner. Here's Shelton. And it's Johnson now. CJ got a hand on it, knocked it out of bounds. I can remember Golden State. Washington built up an early lead here in game 1 of that championship. For the most famous person to ever immigrate from Grace, Idaho.
Grace, Idaho. All right.
Here's Dennis. It's Toon. Dick Mata is saying, come on now, let's hold on to that lead, guys. 116. Mata knows just how tough. Mata said to me before, he said, you know, Brent, this is going to be the toughest series I've ever seen in the NBA. There are going to be bodies flying every which way before this one's finished. Send it back now to Johnson. Johnson's open. You can't leave CJ alone.
And they doubled up. Now, Shelton had Dandridge. He didn't really need any help that time, but a guard dropped in. And Bobby D spotted CJ out front for the jumper.
And the Bullets hold on to that lead, Hot Rod, as we come inside of a minute. Knocked away by Ballard, but right to TJ. Ballard's away, and they go now to Shelton, and look at Unseld. Out of bounds, and it's over to the Bullet. Oh, great team defense that time, Rick.
Exactly, Brent. You can see Shelton. He really isn't too certain what to do. That time he made a good move as Unseld was out of position. Right here, he's kind of frustrated by what he should be doing offensively. He doesn't know whether to shoot it, pass it. That time he stepped out of bounds. If it had not been a step out of bounds, he walked with the basketball.
36 seconds now in the first half. Unseld was rolling. The pass was not right to him. He turned his back, and Williams back for the Sonics. He's as good as any guard in the league, isn't he, when he gets daylight coming down?
Like a breakaway runner. He's had about 3 of those already, and DJ again spotted him down court to give him plenty of room to make his move. He has 16 points. Gus Williams hitting 8 of 14 shots.
Gus out of Mount Vernon, New York. Brother plays with the Knicks, and here's CJ with Dennis flying at him. Shelton, 1 second, they won't get it off.
There's DJ on that lead pass out front to Gus. He just takes it right in, runs right over CJ, and softly puts it up and in. Great drive.
59-50. The world champions file off the floor, and there go Lenny Wilkins, Dick Mata. Take the Bullets on into the locker room. Spoke about at halftime, and it was the Washington Bullets taking an edge, 31-21 total rebounding. You see how well they shot. The Bullets hit 53%. Larry Wright telling Hot Rod they had not played that well lately against San Antonio. At the free throw line, Bullets, of course, had missed. He pulled down 7 rebounds in 9 minutes, and he was a big factor coming off the bench. Jack Sikma and Dennis Johnson, they were able to contribute only 2 apiece for Lenny Wilkins, so they have kept those 2 off the glass. That's the bench scoring, and again, a huge edge. The 2 points there represents the entire.
Larry Wright, Brent, he played only 7 minutes the first half. He hit 5 for 5 from the field.
Sikma misses the first shot of the second half. Henderson runs the game for Mata. Elvin not expecting the pass, bounced away. And of course, John Johnson telling Rick that they were going to go to the glass with authority. And let's see how that works out. Don't need it there when Williams hits a spinner.
And of course, Brent, he's referring a great deal to the defensive boards to try and cut down on those offensive rebounds that the Bullets had. They had 12 in the first half. Of course, Seattle had 11 themselves.
So here's Greavy moving it to the left. Hayes with a little jump shot inside on the turn.
Let him turn inside. There's no way you can stop him. He had plenty of room to operate to his left. That's the way he likes to go when he's in that middle.
Clear out for DJ, who comes up on Greavy and hits the turnaround from the baseline. Lead to Hayes, who had broken free. Misfired, taken off by John Johnson.
That time they denied him to go to his left. He had to turn back.
Shelton is short, and Hayes rebounds. Greavy waits for the play. Unseld took his toll on Dennis Johnson.
That's 7-11 shooting for Kevin Greavy. He's certainly broken out of that slump that he had in the earlier series.
Shelton left alone. 63-56.
Here comes a big screen.
Dennis says, "Where's Wes? Where's number 41?" Right there, big guy. You're waiting for you at the pass. Williams came up and fouled Greavy that time, but before the game, Dick Motta looked across the desk at his assistant Bernie Bickerstaff, and he said, "Bernie, here we are playing for the World Championship. We're only 2 games over 500 in the playoffs. First it was Atlanta, and then it was San Antonio. And the only thing separating the champions from elimination, 2 dramatic victories in the 7th game each time." And you mentioned Kevin Greavy, Rick, 7 of 11 here early, 14 points. He was shooting only 40% in the playoffs. So he snapped alive. His family is here. His little brother was over to say hello before they got underway.
And his big brother. They're all here.
The whole gang, the Greavy gang. Now there's Dandridge sealing up Sikma. Love to watch these 2 teams play defense. A working man series. And Dennis Johnson from outside. Won't be that fancy flying down the floor one-on-one. This is for the lunch pail set, as Dick Motta said. Here's Unseld and hold up inside. It was an off volleyball. Unseld, and here come the Bullets.
Greavy did not let up defensively on that play. It's very smart. Stayed right with DJ all the way in and got a hand on that ball.
Dandridge from behind to Henderson as he came inside, was fouled, trying to get the layup. So Thomas will come now to the free throw line. The former Atlanta Hawk, and Lenny Wilkins up.
University of Hawaii.
Indeed. Henderson and went to the Hawks, and of course there's our leaderboard. Guyberger.
He had a couple of peanut butter sandwiches and went to work.
That's right. He is the original peanut butter man out there in his bag on the course when he won the PGA. And of course, they're only after 4 holes, so you'll see all the big action later. And Paul Silas will see some big action too coming up pretty soon. Bullets are perfect at that free throw line, and the Sonics were 4 of 11 again, so that could hurt if you're a Sonic fan. Doesn't hurt at all if you're a Bullet fan. 67-58. 8 minutes and 55 seconds. So here's Dennis Johnson, loses it, runs it down. Williams comes around him. Gus gonna, nope, and it'll go to John Johnson. Loose, and here's Shelton. The Bullets are all over the ball. Williams is off, and Unseld. Williams reaching in on Henderson, and that's a backcourt foul.
And those are the type of fouls that Gus Williams got in trouble with in one of the games against Phoenix, and they need Gus Williams in the basketball game. That's his. Right, we see the play again. There's the pass out. Unseld got away from him a little bit. Gus thought he had a chance. Reaches around, fouls Henderson. Backcourt foul.
Hey, Hot Rod, when you asked Freddie Brown if he wanted your job, what did he tell you?
He said no. He wanted Brent's.
Well,
that's what I tried to set up.
You set me up for that.
No, I just asked him an honest question. He gave me his answer.
I've seen Freddie out there on the floor. You know that we don't have anybody from UCLA. I don't believe in this series. We can't give any scholarship money when we give our most valuable player award. Let's see, we got 2 from Iowa. They could get it. We got 2 from California. All right, here's Dennis Johnson now. Big Lonnie Shelton out of Oregon State. He's going to come from the perimeter. Short. And a big guy loses it, goes out of bounds. And it'll go over to the Bullets. He's practicing his center. Shelton is big enough to play in the NFL. What a horse. The big horse.
Very quietly gets his job done. Both ends, defense, he hit the boards, plays well.
He's got one of those menacing looking faces when he gets to working hard. Dandridge doesn't get the roll, but he tracks it now. Is he quick going after that loose ball? Played with the Big O and Kareem on that championship team at Milwaukee. He's been here. Henderson dishes it off now to Greavy. Greavy comes out with that jump shot off that time, and look at Unseld time his jump. Sikma left his feet, and Big Wes said, "Go ahead, young man." And Wes, you got it.
He faked that old shot. Old Sikma said, "Go ahead, take it." Here it is.
He just stood there. 7 minutes and 38 seconds, third period. It's a 10-point lead by the world champions. And Lenny Wilkins wants to see if the Sonics can regroup over here with a timeout.
There's a shot coming off right there. Sikma mistimes his jump. Wes, who doesn't jump very high, timed this beautifully, pulled it down, and then had to take a tough shot. The hardest one in the game of basketball, standing there wide open with the guy intimidating you.
I suppose some of you might be thinking, Brent, how old are these two teams? For goodness sakes, Wes Unseld's played forever. Well, let me break down the starters for you this way. Washington's average age, 30 years old, and Seattle, 26.9, or really in effect 27 years old. However, Seattle's bench is a bit older as Freddie Brown misses a shot. Hayes hands off now to Henderson. Seattle's bench 26 years old and Washington's 25. So the overall difference is only a year apart. Those youngsters over on Dick Motta's bench make a big difference for their age. Hayes with a misfire, and Sikma had it come to him as Dennis Johnson was battling on the other side. It's a 10-point Washington lead, but a whole lot of time in game one in Landover. Dandridge fouling John Johnson as he came to the line. That is, let's see, 3 team fouls against the Sonics. And the Bullets not yet with 1, Rick. Shelton's quick pass to DJ. Dandridge is on him. DJ is short, and Sikma going up. Play. Freddie Brown sends it into John Johnson. JJ will put it up on the perimeter. Controlled by the Bullets. Here's Henderson on the move. Loses the dribble, and Jack Sikma was there, and here's DJ. Lead now to Freddie Brown. Wes Unseld waiting back. This is the hook, and Unseld with the rebound. Freddie Brown reached in and fouled Wes.
Bullets have increased it. They're leading by 14 rebounds, 39-25 in total rebounds. It was 10 at the half, so they're still dominating there.
Seems to be a little pressure on Lenny now to find some help over there on the bench.
Exactly, they're not getting much from the bench. In fact, rebounding-wise, John Johnson, the smallest one of their front line, is the leading rebounder, and he has 8.
Big guys are offsetting one another. Small, quick forward getting in there and cleaning up. We have gone 2 minutes and 46 seconds here without a score. The Sonics holding at 58. Sikma, they still can't get it to go down for him, and here's Wright with that quickness. They come 3-on-2. It's Bobby D. Tapped in by Greavy. They missed the layup, and the Sonics are back. And the drought continues. Lead to Greavy. Five minutes, third period. Wilkins and the Sonics will again try to regroup. The Bullets have had things pretty much their own way since the start of this game. They have built up their biggest lead. Timeout. 5 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the third. Seattle must get some offensive firepower. That is the second field goal off Lenny Wilkins' bench, both by downtown Freddie Brown. 4 minutes and 48 seconds to go in period number 3. Ballard goes back to Unseld on the pick and roll, and Freddie Brown, strong defensive play. Johnson wants Brown to come around his side. Didn't get there soon enough. They go into Sikma. Faces up on Unseld. 2 in a row by the Sonics. Back down to 10, 72-62. There's the screen. Ballard. Silas and Johnson couldn't bring it down. Dandridge doesn't hit it.
We've seen so often, Brent, this Seattle team refuses to ever fold up. They just keep coming back at you, keep coming back at you, and here they have a chance to cut that 14-point lead down to 8.
Inside, Dennis Johnson does just that. 3 minutes and 43 seconds. Elvin Hayes is resting right now. Motta yells the play. There he is, kneeling down. Wright, Greavy, Dandridge, Ballard, and Unseld on the floor. Here's Mr. Clutch off the double team, back now to Wright. And look at Silas going against the big man. And it's against Wright. It'll go seam.
There he is. You see it right there. Your screen, almost at half court.
He blends right in. He's a nice fella. Brown downtown again. Actually, that's a little bit uptown, wasn't it?
Well, that brought Dick Bott up from half court. He wants a timeout. He doesn't like what's happening. He's seeing the 14-point lead dwindle down to 6 points. And this game certainly take quite a turn here. And Seattle has to feel very good about the situation with plenty of time left here in the third quarter.
As a 15-point lead and lost that game. It is now 72-66. 3 minutes to go. Third period. Game 1 of the World Championship Series. And Wright has snuffed the run by the Sonics.
I don't know why Lonnie isn't looking to shoot the ball a little bit more. He's 6 of 7 for the game. He's got the hot hand going for himself. He should be more offensive minded as we get a foul off the ball under the basket against Bobby Dandridge, his third.
And Larry Wright, no fouls and 11 points. Gus Williams with 18 points and Dennis Johnson with 15. John Johnson stuck on 11 here for a while.
And they were 4 for 11 from the free throw line, the Sonics that is, in the first half, which is horrendous free throw shooting. John Johnson's just missed another one. 4 for 12, that's 5 for 13. That is not very good at all.
74-67. Wright's quickness, but it was blocked, and it's going over to the Sonics. Big Paul Silas had an arm underneath there.
Wright has really been offensive minded here this afternoon. He hit that shot a moment ago. This time he came back, made a good move, but the ball was blocked away. He has really been a key for this club.
Silas and Sikma set a double screen over on the left side. They work John Johnson. They lob backdoor to Dennis. He almost got it tapped in. John Johnson away from Dennis. The pass was a dandy. And he got it in. No foul. Sonics worked hard. Now it's the champions.
That was a great break there because Dennis lost that ball momentarily and then got it back and got a basket.
Wright. And he's been the main man.
There he is, Wright.
Minute 54. Period 3. Sikma will turn on Unseld. Was off and Greavy runs it down. Wright wanted to go and slipped just a bit.
He's hit 7 out of 8 shots. The only one he's missed was blocked.
Dennis is there. Now he goes back on Greavy. Quickness by DJ as he raced to the corner that time.
Another important fact you have to bring up, Brent, that Gus Williams for the Sonics has been on the bench a long time, and he's so important to their team.
Dennis is wide open underneath. He just hasn't been able to hold on to the ball the last couple of times. They're working the back door perfectly. Ballard passed up the shot, and Dandridge hits it.
There's Dennis Johnson cutting under right there wide open. He fumbled the ball, and that cost him a basket. And Bobby Dandridge got it right back for the Bullets, and they're up by 9.
Greavy was rubbed off by Sikma. That's what allowed DJ to get wide open on the backdoor play. Now they set the double screen again over here for Brown. Sikma again trying to rub right off, and he gets it back. Wes is there. Field goal good by Jack. 78, 71, 29 seconds, third period.
There was a key play a while ago when Ballard made that pass to Dandridge. He more or less realized his limitations. He knew Dandridge was closer, a better shooter, and he gave up the ball.
Dandridge up on John Johnson. Marvelous clutch shooter.
Brent, I think he's one guy who actually shoots the ball better when he's got more pressure on him.
Lost it out of bounds on the turnover, and it'll go to the Bullets. They've got 4 seconds. Mata and Bickerstaff remind them that against Lenny Wilkins' final trip, there will be 4 seconds. Rebounding edge, Washington by 15. Dandridge with the pump. Oh! Mr. Clutch at the buzzer. Puts away 2 more.
Let's see the way he blocked away the defensive man, Johnny Johnson, on the pass. He took it right there. Watch him duck under the arm of Johnson. Double pump. It's on the way. Bottom of the net.
10 of 19. Bobby D. Period 4 coming up. Or the Sonics. Dennis Johnson at 17. Gus Williams with 18. Look at that huge edge coming off the glass. That will be the factor. The Sonics must go to work inside. There's the first one. Knocked away Shelton by Corzine. Lonnie runs it down. So Big Dave Corzine is in. Wes Unseld is out, and Elvin Hayes is returned. Remember, he's playing with 4 fouls. That's the most important foul statistic that we have to watch right now in this final period. Shelton is open, misfiring, and Sikma runs it down. 2 quick rebounds by the Sonics. It allows Silas to hit his first field goal.
And you notice he never made an attempt to try to block that one. He did not want to pick up that 5th foul.
Champions work it to the east side. Shelton is there. Elvin with a size advantage. Double teamed, and the ball went through. I can't believe they called a foul. I thought Freddie Brown had all ball, and Hayes went right through it.
They called a foul on Shelton. Well, watch the play coming up. Now let's keep an eye on Shelton. Fred Brown, he'll sneak behind, make a great play, gets the ball. Right there, Shelton goes up. They call a foul on Shelton. After the shot, E's arm went into Shelton. That must have been where he saw it.
You're worried about the foul. I'm wondering how he made the shot. How did it go in the basket?
Let's take a look at it another angle right here and see if we can see any contact here. Freddie, nothing but ball. Let's watch Shelton. There he goes up. Hard to tell right there.
Fred Brown coming around. Corzine is over. Now he'll go back, and Freddie missing, and Corzine and Sikma dueling. 2 young men out of the state of Illinois. Jack Sikma from Illinois Wesleyan. Corzine from DePaul. Sonics with the ball. Dave Corzine played well in that first half. He's out of the Ray Meyer School of Basketball. It's an offensive foul. Goes to the Bullets.
Lonnie Shelton going across the lane on the set play to set the screen, was moving.
Nick Mata, there's Lenny Wilkins. He's a little disgusted at this point.
10 minutes and 50 seconds. Corzine hits Larry Wright. And has he been hot? Missed just one shot, that one that Silas blocked.
He's running around with that arm cocked. He knows he's got it going. 8 out of 9 for Larry Wright.
Here's Silas. That was rejected. Dandridge was there, and there's a foul.
It's going to be Silas, the loose ball foul, I believe. What a block Dandridge made at 6'6". Getting a hand on that shot. There's Shelton trying to set inside. They're going to the basket. Silas committing a foul right there on the loose ball foul. There's another angle. Silas going down. There's the block by Dandridge, and then Silas crashing into Corzine to pick up the loose ball foul.
Gus Williams checks in after the foul call, and Freddie Brown goes out. Hot Rod, the Bullets are continuing their domination. When it looked like the Sonics might make the run, Larry Wright hit a couple of big hoops for him.
That's been the key. Every time he'll come back and hit that shot outside, that's demoralizing for Seattle.
Wally Walker is going to try Dandridge. Walker played. There's Wright again. He is now with 18 points, their biggest lead of the game, and still he's missed only one. The little man from Grambling doing it all. And he was defending well against Williams, who comes back after the missed shot. Block underneath inside, and the foul called against Hayes. That's number 5. And I didn't see it.
That looked like a good block. He went right up, knocked that ball down. He's really unhappy with the play.
I didn't see this foul at all.
This was a partially blocked play here, and here you'll see the ball go back to Gus. It's only 6'2". Elvin 6'9", went right up and knocked the ball down, but apparently got him with the body. He cleanly blocked the shot.
We'll watch Elvin on isolation here on a previous play with Silas down the other end of the floor. You can see a little contact between those two fellas going on.
Wow.
I saw 3 times as much contact in that replay as I did down here on this blocked shot. And Elvin, because there are 5 fouls, has got to sit down. 9 minutes and 49 seconds. And the Sonics at the free throw line have hit only 5 of 14. They have missed 9 of free throws.
Gus Williams is 0 for 5.
It's unbelievable. Man could come down and hit jump shots from 20 feet, stand at that 15-foot line by yourself and miss.
Dandridge sends it back to Wright. Got Williams to leave his feet, and a little done it again.
10-4-11.
Larry Wright now. Officially is 10 of 12. He's being credited with one other miss. Traveling, it'll go to the Bullets.
And the Seattle Sonics seem to be losing their composure somewhat now. Larry Wright has got the hot hand going for him. And I'll tell you something, Brent, and Rod knows this, as a player, when you get that feeling, boy, there is nothing quite like it. You really can't describe in words what that feeling is like. You just know what's going in the hoop.
And you want that ball. Really looking for it.
He's yelling for it right now.
There it
Here
is.
he comes.
Andrews
got the rebound. He finally missed again. Sikma had inside position, and Corzine fouled him. Dave Corzine's looking good, isn't he? The rookies. So Kevin Greavy and Larry Wright have looked at criticism of the Bullet guards in the eyes. There's a traveling call against Bobby Deal to go over to the Sonics. But coming into this series in the Washington Post this morning, the analysis that the Sonics had by far the best of it at guard. They have not had by far the best of it at guard here in game one. Let me tell you, Larry Wright and Kevin Greavy have looked awfully good here this afternoon.
We're going to call that on Wright. That looked like it could have been a charge, too. Watch Wright set up defensively. He's right in good position here. I thought all the way he had him, but Gus kept taking the ball to him, and they called him for the blocking foul, and Williams will get 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting.
There's Gus. Looking at Wally Walker, though, I started to say he turned in some strong defensive minutes, I thought, against Walter Davis in Game 7 before he made one of the worst inbound passes that anyone has ever made. It was so bad even Walker was joking about it after the game. He threw the ball right to Westfall.
I thought I'd almost gone to the long dressing room.
Dennis has got it back. 8-16, 91-77. Pressure in the backcourt now against the Bullets. We'll see how the guards operate against that. Got it to Greavy. Come through Dandridge. Corzine is in low, double screen with Ballard, and it's for Greavy, who takes the shot. Sikma hands it off now to Dennis. There's time for a Sonic run. Deep in the corner. Inside rebounding position twice, and Sikma puts it down. Silas saved it for the Sonics.
He's going to get Unseld back in the game, I'm sure. Yes, he's gone to the bench. Wesley's getting up. Needs to get some more rebounding in there. They can't allow that to happen. They've run off 6 points at 18-point leads, down 12 points.
Williams holding off the Corzine screen. Dave sends it to Greavy, who lost the ball out of bounds. It'll go now to the Sonics.
See the last rebound. Silas first gets it, tries to shoot it before he comes down, shoots it a little too hard. Sikma's right there, nothing but green shirts right close to the basket. Tough shot by Sikma, but 2 points.
That's Big West. 10 rebounds for Unseld.
Williams comes down on right and goes around the Sikma screen. And on the screen, he hits 2 more. And here come the Sonics again, very slowly. But each time they've made the run, the Bullets have been equal to it. Walker taking Mr. Clutch. Dandridge sends it to CJ. They move it now to Wright. Yeah, he's missed the last couple of times now, but Wes Unseld with his 11th rebound.
Gets them all with possession. Absolutely perfect.
Ballard up front with West now, too.
Offensive foul on Dandridge, I believe. Here's Sikma backing into Unseld. Now watch West hold him in there and then get the rebound. That's really a smart play by Unseld, holding his position and getting the rebound.
And that is 4 fouls against Bobby Dandridge. So it is back down to 10 points. 6 minutes and 36 seconds to go. In Landover, Maryland, I'm Brent Musburger with Hot Rod Hundley and Rick Berry. Thank you for joining us. We hope you are sitting back, relaxed on this Sunday afternoon, and having fun watching Game 1 of the NBA World Championship Series. Seattle trailing by 10. Williams misfires. Ballard with a big rebound. And the outlet pass not that good. Walker let it go out of bounds, and it'll be the Sonics ball.
Now, I don't know if that was a smart play by Wally. If he was positive, it looked like to me that Dennis Johnson might have touched the ball. He had plenty of opportunity to pick it up. but they got the ball back, so it is a break for them.
Washington has turned it over here 18 times to Seattle's 11. And that has helped the Sonics. Here's Sikma. Sonics trying to bring it down within 10. He's off, and it's all Bullets rebounding that time.
I don't know why DJ's not going down underneath where he's so tough, Brent. He just wants to take those outside shots.
One thing the Bullets got to be careful of is not working that clock too much here. You know, that's what happened with Seattle in that Phoenix series, trying to go too early on the clock with a big lead. And you end up taking bad shots, and the other team can creep back and get back in the ballgame. Silas
had reached in and committed that foul. I mentioned the guards here this afternoon. Washington's have scored 49 points and Seattle's 45. 5:45 to go. It's 91-81. Dandridge has been quiet with Walker on him. Unseld sends it back now to CJ. With the quickness, he gets into the middle, and DJ with a rejection now, and it's Gus Williams. Right rotates back, and Gus turns around the other side. It's an 8-point game. Big play by the Sonics.
You see again that time, Brett, they tried to work that clock down. They ended up with not a good shot. They had about 7 seconds on the shot clock. They got to keep the pressure of moving that ball at the basket.
Hayes, Unseld, and Dandridge are up front. Wright and Johnson are in the backcourt for the champions. And Walker's denied Dandridge the ball that time. He's all alone on the other side. 4 on the shot clock. 3, 2, 1, and in and outside. I mean, it's just been his individual talent. That obviously is not the play they wanted. There was no movement at all. Williams on the layup at the other end. It's 8 again, 4:52, and hold on. This one's going to get real good.
Well, Larry Wright wanted that shot all along. You just look at that clock. He's I'm going to raise up and pump it.
Walker goes with Dandridge. I'm intrigued by that matchup right now. They're not sending the ball through there, Mr. Clutch. Hayes holds on. Again, the shot clock to 9. It's one-on-one basketball. Hayes, loose ball, got it back. And the champions have got another shot in the fresh 24. All right, says circle the wagons. Here we come again. Now they get it to Dandridge. Way outside of his shooting range. Walker dropped off a step and a half. Now he goes with Bobby, and there's a whistle down. And Walker had put an arm in Dandridge's back, and he has assessed the personal. Throw line, 22 points here this afternoon in Game 1. Game 2 Thursday night. We'll be here. Game 3 back at the Kingdom. We'll probably have 65,000.
that could happen.
Sam Schulman would love every cash register jingle.
The Bullets have 3 team fouls. The Seattle with 5 now as we go into the last 4 minutes and 12 seconds.
And oh, that missed free throw that time. Silas with the rebound, and Gus Williams now. Little one-on-one, and Dandridge yanked it down as he came away and fired quickly.
That time Lonnie Wright had his arm wrapped around Gus's waist, and no foul was called.
Here's Wright. Unseld is out there. Wright makes his move on the glass. Sikma coming with him. Little Larry got it done. That's 24 points for Larry Wright. He is 12 of 16.
Here's that move.
Gus turned to talk to Paul Silas as he did it. Lonnie just blew right by him.
Strike a blow for Grambling.
Yes, sir. Here's Jack Sikma now, and CJ's right with him. Good defense by the little guard. Pass to Bobby Dandridge. Walker is back. Dandridge.
Oh, he walked.
Traveling, it's going over. Lenny Wilkins talking quickly now to Gus Williams as Walker checks out of the game, and John Johnson comes back in. Silas, Johnson, and Sikma up front. Williams and DJ in the backcourt. Greavy is back. He'll work with Wright. Hayes, Dandridge, and Unseld. 3 minutes and 18 seconds for the game. Knock free, Williams. 96-85.
Unseld will be called for that foul.
That's 4 on Wes. Hayes playing with 5, and here's Lonnie Shelton with 4 fouls and 8 points, returning for Seattle. Gus Williams will throw it inbounds for Seattle. They had a fresh 24.
Well, now they're both in the penalty situation. Lonnie Wright called for holding. This time they saw him with the hands around the waist of Gus Williams.
And Gus will come up to the free throw line. Ricky has scored 26. That's the game high.
Right, and he's missed 5 free throws. He still scored 26.
Dick Mata, I don't believe, will sit down this whole ball game.
That's 6 free throws he's missed.
Plenty of time for Dick to sit down in western Montana in July when he goes fishing.
That's incredible. 0 for 7 for Gus Williams from the line. 2 for 9.
2 for 9 is the official count on Gus.
Still missed 7.
Unseld moves it over to the left. And right is short, and John Johnson to the rebound. Been a good rebounding forward here this afternoon. Here comes Gus getting around the corner, throwing in that layup with that quickness.
That's a tougher shot than the free throws that he's been missing. He squirted that one right up in traffic and got it.
Now Gus goes down to pressure the ball a little bit. 96-87. 2 minutes and 34 seconds. Coming on down inside of 2:30 now.
Look at that screen.
Hayes, he can't shoot unless he first turns his back. A loose ball foul as Williams went after the rebound. Larry Wright puts him in. There's the owner of the Sonics, Sam Schulman.
And he's got a little picture of his wife Sylvia over there to the left.
So we've got a timeout with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left in game 1. 96-87, Bullets over the Sonics. For Seattle reads like this: 13 of 23 from the field, 2 of 9 from the free throw line, 28 total points, 4 assists and 6 rebounds.
Now I've got something for you on Bobby Dandridge. 23 points, 11 rebounds, 4 blocks, 4 assists. Not too shabby.
He is never too shabby.
Old Gus would love to have those 7 free throws he's missed. They would be right in the old ball game.
That's for sure.
3 of 10. And Gus has scored the Sonics' last 9 points. He's been a one-man band, hasn't he?
That going quick outside, and he's got a great jumper.
So he puts his total at 30. 96-89. They pressure the Bullets and Greavy. Then Hayes sends it back deep now to Henderson. At the 2-minute mark, they'll bring the shot clock down to 10 seconds. 2 minutes can be an eternity, as both Seattle and Washington learned this last week. 4 on the shot clock. 3, 2, 1. John Johnson yanked away the rebound, and Bobby Dandridge came into him. Foul on Dandridge.
I don't know where all the people who were leaving a little bit earlier were going, Brent, but 2 minutes to go in an NBA game, a 9-point game with the other team going to the foul line. Anything can happen.
That is 5 fouls on Dandridge, 5 on Hayes, and 4 on Unseld, 4 on Shelton, 3 on Silas. So 1 call against Hayes or Dandridge, and the Bullets will be at an extreme disadvantage. They go down the stretch with those 2 men carrying the offensive load for them. 13 points for John Johnson. Make it 14. 152, and there's the backcourt pressure by the Sonics. It's a 5-point Bullet lead. Unseld holds it. Gets it across in time to Henderson. Triple team. They go for the open man. It'll be Greavy. The Bullets are bringing the clock down. Tom Henderson dishes to Wesson. Sikma got over and tomahawked the ball that time.
Oh, I think he might have missed this call, Brad. It looked like the ball hit off of Elvin Hayes. The whole Sonic bench was up disputing that one.
Ball will go to the Bullets, and a fresh 24 with 1:30 and a 5-point lead.
What a big break there for the Bullets. The Sonics had gotten that ball. They had a chance to really make this very interesting.
Mata wants, hold on. Mata says the ball hit the rim, and that's what I thought. When Sikma came down with his arm, I thought the ball hit the rim.
Yes, it did. No question about that. Wally Bruni, the alternate official, was over there to verify that fact, that the ball hit the rim, so they get a new 24 seconds. See the play again. Sikma right there. There's the ball. Boom, against the rim. Now let's see who it goes off of here. It comes down. They battle for it. Here comes the E. Close.
Hard to tell. Unseld sends it back now to Henderson. You bring the shot clock inside of 20. You're watching the game clock in the middle of your screen. It's a 5-point lead by the champions. Greavy, they run it down inside of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6 on the shot clock, and Unseld fires. Yanked off by John Johnson at the 107 mark. Here they come. They can cut it to 3 now. Williams pulls up. It's a 3-point game, and 32 now for Gus and 102. 96-93. Double team loose. Here comes Johnson. Johnson is free. He'll go to Dennis Johnson. On the layup, a 1-point game at 52 seconds.
Plenty of time. They got the pressure again.
The Bullets coming up now with Kevin Greavy. Double team loose, and there's a foul. John Johnson reaching in on Greavy. And Dandridge saying it's got to be a backcourt foul. Dandridge is protesting that it should be a backcourt foul.
Yeah, good reason to protest. Looked like it was in the backcourt. Plus, his 1 foot was over the line.
So the Washington Bullets were up by 18 early this quarter. Now it is down to 1. It was a foul against Williams, who had come around, and Greavy coming up to the line.
If we could put that play back up, I'd sure like to see if he was in the backcourt or not.
Greavy trying to put the Bullets up by 2. The Sonic pressure and the fact that the Bullets may have slowed it down just a little bit early.
And a big free throw, so now those missed free throws by the Sonic team really become very important.
Shooting for the 3-point lead. Doesn't get it. The Sonics can tie it.
And that's where that call could have come in, because it would have been a 3-for-2 situation.
Williams will come around. John Johnson for the tie. Off high. Shelton to the hand. Saved now by Dennis Johnson. Fresh 24. Sonics. Dennis Johnson has tied it. There's 25 seconds.
Unbelievable what happens in the NBA. You can never walk out of a building till that buzzer sounds.
It was an 18-point lead, and now we're tied in game 1. Well, let's bring it down now. John Johnson's got Dandridge. They must watch him.
They should take the last shot, Brent, either go into overtime or win.
Henderson, takedown by Shelton. They've got 6 seconds.
He lost the ball.
Out of bounds. The Bullets can shoot for the win with 5 seconds. He simply lost it.
I think he was so intent on trying to get it to call the timeout that he just didn't get the handle on it. Here's the shot. A little too early, I think, for sure, by Henderson. Comes off. Shelton right there all by himself. Loses the handle on it, goes to pick it up. He can't get it again, and he just loses the ball right out of bounds. What a break for the Bullets.
Trying so hard, it squirted free. And how many times?
Court situation. Let's watch if there's a foul. Here we come. Right there, he calls the foul. He was in the backcourt. It should have been a 3-for-2 situation.
Wait a minute. Hold it. That's not who the foul was against. But Greavy came to the line. He called the foul on Gus Williams. Where's Gus?
It was John Johnson who made the foul.
I thought Johnson came around.
Here comes Here it comes. It's John Johnson right there. Whacks him on the arm, hits him on the elbow. His foot's still in the backcourt. Now it comes to the front court. He had the wrong man. He also got the call in the wrong place.
There was a backcourt foul. There was no question about it. So the Bullets have got it back now at the 5-second mark as they set a play. And Rick, I know so many Washington fans are very aware what the Bullets try to do here generally. Mata sometimes will say, as he did against San Antonio, everybody clear out of the way. I want Bobby Dandridge to go win it. Now, he might come with that, or he could switch to the Big E, Elvin Hayes. Dandridge has been Mr. Clutch for him. That's why we've been calling him that here this afternoon. Now, Lenny Wilkins, on the other hand, he knows exactly the key men that Mata will go to at this point.
And there's also a situation, too, now that you've had a man playing an outstanding basketball game for the Washington Bullets. That man, of course, being Lonnie Wright, who was coming into the game, and they could very well go to him. He's had a hot hand, hasn't shot as well from the outside as he did earlier, but they could try to go to him. But Brent, Seattle battled back. They had a chance to get the ball and be in a commanding situation. They would have had a chance to win the game or go into overtime. The Bullets made a costly mistake by shooting early, but Lady Luck was with them again. And sometimes it's much better to be lucky than good.
But of course, they didn't get the call on the backcourt. So we got to be fair now. That could have really gone in their favor. So
well,
here's Larry Wright is deep. Wes Unseld will throw it in for the Bullets. Looking for the open man. He's got a lot of time. Sends it out to Wright. Wright negotiates a bad shot.
Gus Williams blocked that shot, Brent.
And Sikma hit it. It's going to go back. Would you believe it? They're going to get another shot.
Watch Gus Williams right here. He gets by, goes up, times it beautifully. Right there, he gets the ball. Sikma knocks it out of bounds.
Plenty of time. You remember the Phoenix-Seattle game of a week ago. You can get a shot. The opens right. Coming.
He missed.
Sikma.
He called a foul.
Foul is called on the play. Wilkins is out protesting. The Sonics are unhappy.
Dennis Johnson called for the foul. The clock is over. The game is over. Dennis Johnson makes the foul. Ronnie Wright with a chance to win the game.
So here is Wright. And he doesn't hit the free throw.
He's got three chances, Brent. This game is over. Ronnie Wright's not going to miss three. The Bullets will win game one.
There it is. The Bullets win on the free throw by Larry Wright. And look at the Sonics protesting. They win by 2, 99-97. And this championship series is just beginning. This was game one. They're giving the officials help, escorting them off the floor. Still checking with him, John Johnson.
There had to be a defensive slip here by the Sonics. Lonnie Wright got so wide open on that play.
Now let's go to Hot Rod and Larry Wright, and then we'll look at the foul again. Rick, Hot Rod, can you hear us?
All right, Larry, congratulations. Pressure, you really did it. Unbelievable.
Thank you, Hot Rod. Tough game. I was just able to sneak in on the last shot and get fouled.
I saw the angle. I was standing out here at the end of the court. You cut to your right, wide open. You got a great pass from Danvers.
Right, they wasn't able to set up their defense. And Bobby motioned the other way because he knew I was coming to the basket. I thought it was a goaltending also. The free throw was kind of pressure, but I figured I could get one in.
What did you think after you missed that first one? What was going through your mind?
Well, I knew I had two more, and you just got to believe you can make them in those situations, and I took my time and knocked it in.
Looked like you didn't even care about that third when you started to go off the court.
Hey, we didn't need but one.
What about the next game coming up Thursday night? Can you keep this momentum?
Well, we can keep this momentum going into Thursday. I think we'll be in pretty good shape, but we got way out front today, and we started relaxing. Against Seattle, you can't do that. If you get the lead, you got to go on and try and bear it.
I think that the Seattle club is better than they were last year, though.
Right, they're better because they don't depend on Marvin to block shots in the middle. Everybody's helping everybody, and they play a good brand of basketball. They take the fast break when they have it, and they got super guards, and they got good, strong people down back, and the series is going to be so balanced. You know, you can put two names in the hat and pick a winner.
You hit 9 out of your first 10 shots, cooking from everywhere outside. You really had it going.
Well, you know, like I say, when you get in and you hit your first one, everything else falls in. One thing I'd like to say hello to my mama, Hard Rock, down in Monroe, Louisiana.
All right, I'm sure you've got to be the MVP of this game. We haven't voted yet that I know of, but what a great game for you.
Thank you, Hard Rock.
We're going to let you go on back to the dressing room. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to you, Brent.
All right, Hot Rod, Rick and I are going to make that unanimous. And we're going to come back and we're going to take a look at that replay. The foul that sent Larry Wright to the line and gave the Bullets the victory here in game one of this NBA championship. They brought Wright over. Now watch Dennis Johnson go in the air. Rick, what about the contact on this play?
Well, right here, Dennis jumps straight up. Larry makes a little contact with him when they're up in the air with the body. Looks like Dennis catches him a little bit on the arm. And when you commit yourself and go in the air and this body contact, invariably the call goes against the defensive man. So it's a tough call to have to make at this situation in the game in a championship series. But Ed Rush was very confident in his call. He was very adamant in it. He says, yes, you made the foul. There's some contact there. Leah's arm right here. Looks like his arm's catching him after he's released the ball, and you can foul a man after the shot as well. Very tough call.
And that was it as Larry Wright came to the free throw line and hit the free throws, and you could see how upset Dennis Johnson was at the call that went against him. And the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player Award goes to Larry Wright. We don't have to tell you any of the reasons why, because the last two were the most important. But for the record, he came off the bench 23 minutes. He was 12 of 18 from the field, 2 of 3 at the free throw line, and there it is, 26 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. And the Chevrolet $1,000 scholarship will be awarded to Grambling on behalf of our most valuable player in this Game 1 of the World Championship Series, Larry Wright, with 26 points, leading the Bullets today. Bobby Dandridge added 23. Kevin Greavy had 19. We had Gus Williams with 32 points. Dennis Johnson with 23. We had John Johnson with 14. We're going to come right back. We're going to take you inside the winner's locker room as our coverage of the Championship Series continues. With 9 minutes and 23 seconds to go in this game, it seemed easy. Washington was up 91-73, but then down the stretch, Seattle outscored the world champions 24-6 before Larry Wright stepped to the free throw line and hit those 2 free throws that made it 99-97. Oh my, why'd we miss all those free throws, particularly in the first half. But then again, maybe Washington might not have let them off the hook quite that easily if they had stayed closer. It appeared from here as though Washington made the same mistake that Seattle did on Thursday night. They started to sit on a lead a little bit too quickly, and back came the Sonics. Certainly Gus Williams was absolutely magnificent here in defeat. With a total of 32 points, he was the game high, and he came away with 14 points in the last period for Seattle as they drew close, and it appeared for a time they might pull it out. These are just some of the moments now as Gus Williams found the shooting touch but missed that time, and it was Lonnie Shelton throwing back up the rebound. And of course Shelton with a big rebound late, then simply dropped the ball out of bounds. Working the inbounds was Wes Unseld. The pressure in the backcourt throughout the game somewhat bothered the Bullets, particularly late, but not in this sequence. CJ passing off to Greg Ballard as he came the length of the floor. A great way to beat full court pressure. Give it to one man, let him dribble it up, and then find the open man. Here now is Dennis Johnson coming to the baseline on a miss, and you can see the Washington advantage, 54-42. They led here this afternoon in rebounding. And Mr. Clutch, Bobby Dandridge, with another big afternoon for the Bullets, 23 points, although Wally Walker came off of Lenny Wilkins' bench and did a very significant job. We are going to be seeing more of Walker coming off the bench as this series unfolds. There were a lot of things that happened today that we'll see more of. Elvin Hayes, of course, got into foul trouble. The Big E was not at the top of his game. He wound up with 14 points in the Game 1. Dennis Johnson, 0 of 14 in Game 7, but here today he threw in 23 points in Game 1, but he was not playing his inside game as he usually does for Lenny Wilkins. Jack Sikma, he snapped out of his slump about a week ago against Phoenix, going to that shot where he turns around and uses the size advantage. Then with time running out in the third, we remember Bobby Dandridge pumping, hanging in the air, and putting down the field goal as the Bullets began to open up that big lead. And they played with confidence throughout midway in the fourth period when the Sonics simply grabbed back into the game. They just seized the Bullets by the neck and said, here we come again. So the Bullets are now aware that they're going to be back at a championship series. And here was our most valuable player, Larry Wright, on the layup. And we're going to be right back in Landover, where the Bullets have won Game 1 of the World Championship Series. Championship Series coming up on CBS on Thursday night for Rick Barry and Hot Rod Hundley. This is Brent Musburger saying so long from Landover, Maryland, where the world champions have won Game 1, 99-97. The NBA on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.